Here we go, a before and after. Take a look at this. I'll be back in 10 minutes. And here we go. Take two, all trimmed and tidy. Now I'm here today. I want to show you something that I made. In fact, yeah, hold on. Let's. What do I need to open up? FamilyMediaWorks. I'm going to show you this today. This is a program that I created. It's for your video files, your photographs, audio files. You can do lots of stuff within it anyway. The reason I'm showing it to you now is because I just synced. Let's get that on there so that bloody works. I've just synced with I'll show you my where did I put that? That will be in home with iCloud Local. So we've all got these things. We all send our photographs up to iCloud or store them on iCloud. And when you work with videos and photographs and video footage, it's always difficult because you've got then over time you get a lot of videos and photographs, and none of it stays on your PC. You can't sync it very easily. You have to download it. You know, go through your footage that you've taken and download files individually, or maybe a block. But it's always very difficult with the likes of Apple because they put restrictions on how many files you can download at any one time. And I've installed a program that on my Linux box that does it for you basically. And I wanted to run up FamilyMediaWorks to show you. These are the files I've downloaded from my Apple account. How you can batch convert, you know, files ready for editing in as you can see in some of these. For example, if we look at, they're all given weird names, encrypted names, I believe, or HEIC, which is an Apple format, which on my DaVinci doesn't really like that codex. So I want to convert this into, you know, files that work within DaVinci, and this is what this program can do. And it's actually free. You can try it as well. It works on Windows because I've created an exe file that you can set up on your Windows box. So it's exactly the same on Windows as it is on my Linux box here. I've compiled an exe file for people to download and try it for free, no less. Anyway, I shall get into this in a minute and we can have a look at what this program can do. Okay, here we go. I thought I'd start with the convert tab because I'm converting the Apple files to a more friendly codex for DaVinci. In fact, I could actually use this one, this DaVinci tab here. It's a tab that I specifically created for DaVinci, but I'll convert it in the convert tab, because you know some people might not be using DaVinci, they might have their own application for video editing or photo editing that requires a codex change basically. Okay, you can see here you can select a video or a photo. You can actually do your NEF or RAW photos direct from your camera card if you select that one. Anyway, I'll concentrate on the video for now. And I can select the mode I want to run in, i.e. whether it's a single file or a whole folder. We'll do a whole folder just so you can see it running. And my source folder will be one of those videos. My source folder will be my iCloud local family photos. Let's choose Isla. So these are photos in that location that have been synced with my Apple account and downloaded to a local folder on my machine, but they're in a format that my video application DaVinci doesn't like. For one reason or other, it will either show one frame of the video and no audio, for example, because the codex is not supported in DaVinci. And then I can select where I want the output files to go to from in the output folder. So if I then put that into family album, we can actually, what should we do? Family album, we'll put make a new folder and we'll call it Isla. We'll call it Isla Convert, just so we know where the files are going. So it's collecting the source files from my local Apple account that's been synced with my Apple account, and it's going to output the files to a folder called Isla Convert. And I can select then, I can output format. I'll select MP4, that 264 AAC, because that gives us a small file and the correct audio. I can select this MP4 264 PCM for DaVinci, but that usually means a bigger file, because the PCM files are, the audio within the file is quite big. But because it's going through DaVinci, when I come to deploy it from within DaVinci, I will then compress it and do that conversion to that format in DaVinci, if that makes sense. But for the sake of showing you this program, I'll do it in the smaller file. Just a matter of selecting convert, and then you can see it'll batch run within that folder, looking at all the videos and the files that are in there, and convert all those files to a manageable format, a codex that will work in my particular video editing software. Some applications will run it. The default Apple editing programs that you use on your phone will all work, obviously, with those Apple files, but not everybody chooses to use that and working from the phone. If you've got an iPad, I guess it might be a bit easier, but I'll just run that through that, and we'll then have a look at the output. And with the magic of videoing, I can probably fast forward and catch you at the end. As you can see, that finished. That ran through and done all of those videos. And if I show you the folder, you can see that's the original folder. Sorry, that's the original folder. If we look at that video there, properties, you can see it is, well, nearly 15 megabyte. And if you look at the converted ones with the AAC, it's only 8.2. So there's a saving in size. Clever, isn't it? Anyway, and all these files now are ready for use in any video editor. If we click on that one, for example, you can hear that. And that is how that works on the convert. You can actually then, if you wanted to, select that folder and try and compress them a bit more if you wanted to make them smaller for sharing on social media, for example. They're often quite strict in file sizes, such like. So that's always a handy option to have. Same with the photos. You can do exactly the same with the photos. You can do exactly the same with just the audio. If that's, if you're only interested in the audio, or you want to extract the audios from video files, this is a good option. I've already explained, this tab has been designed for specifically for DaVinci. This is an interesting one. Quite often you'll get a bit of video that has, for example, a magic moment. One of your kids saying something like, "I love Nanny and Granddad." Well, you can make a ringtone out of that bit of audio and assign it to a particular user. Later on, I've got a few like that I can assign to when the kids all start to get their mobile phones, as I'm sure they probably will do. You can assign, bits of video to a ringtone for your iPhone. You can do all that in here. Anyway, settings here, these are just paths of the tool that works all this. Different compression, and just a help tab that will give you some descriptive information about the various file codecs that you want to update on what's going on. And that's it, basically. It's being updated all the time as I get round to working on it, amongst the other programs that I'm working with. Enjoy.